figured since I have my, well, it's such a reflection. I have my blue light glasses on, and I have my hair in a bun, and it looks semi-professional, that I would record something according to one of my videos that I wanted to do in my Let's Talk series. I do have hair. It's behind my head. I don't have it down. And I did have my blue light glasses on because I was doing a lot of work. Well, not a lot of work. I was applying to things. I wanted to, so I did a video, was it yesterday, about the job market and job hunting and stuff like that. And how I feel like sometimes when you're doing like jobs and stuff, it can be a little bit impersonal because, you know, there's so many resumes and so many applications that come through that you really wonder if a recruiter will get the chance to like actually look at your like your resume. So but I did want, I was like, I figured since I'm dressed and I have makeup on and I look semi-decent compared to how I felt this morning, I feel like I'm getting sick, to be honest. And this would be a real, maybe, I don't know if I should talk about self-care. Now I'm getting hot too. I don't know if I should talk about self-care or job hunting, which I already did talk about yesterday. But there was another topic that I wanted to talk about. Excuse me. Starting over. Let's do that one, right? I really do wish I had, like, I might, like, print something out. Or maybe I'll put my vision board. You know what I should do? I should put my vision board from, like, last year over here so it doesn't look like a bare wall. I might do that. That looks cute, right? Can we do that? The landlord is going to be, because you're not supposed to have anything on the wall. But it looks so bland. Like, it looks like, oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. Actually, I take it back. I'm wearing shorts. I apologize. I do have a cute outfit on. I actually decided to get dressed today because it's semi-decent, which, you know, is more like tropical Miami attire, if anything. But, is this upside down? Oh, it was upside down. And half of this outfit, so this is Stitch Fix. Well, this is not Stitch Fix. This was like Nordstrom's, I think. This turd. I said turd is shirt, and my pants are, please disregard my thing in the back, the pillow. But these are actually from Stitch Fix, and they're actually really cute shorts, and they're very comfy, and they're very stretchy too, like super like soft and cute and stretchy. But mind you, it's probably like 50 degrees. Or Ziggy, what's the temperature right now? It's probably like 40 something degrees. Ziggy, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, in St.
Boom.
Albans, BT, it's 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
Cute. Oh my god, it's 60 degrees. That's a record high for, I don't know if I feel like I'm getting a fever. Granted, I didn't get much sleep last night. I didn't feel that good. I don't know. I'm debating. I might do this now. This is, you know what, that's actually really good. You know what, I'm gonna talk about this. That's what I'm gonna talk about. That's what I'm gonna talk about. But I am gonna get some tape really quick. Okay, so see, like for me, I do believe in color theory. I do think that like there's certain colors that evoke a certain energy. So like for me, I need to be surrounded by a bright. It's gonna be really bad if one day I do meet a dude, like a nice guy, unless he's gay and he's into like colors and stuff. Right? Let's say he's more effeminate or metrosexual, then maybe he'd be accepting. Because I'm like wondering if I like actually, because I've always lived by myself. I've never had a roommate. I've never like partnered up with anybody like domestically. And I'm straight. Like I'm not gay. So, you know, I wonder in terms of scenery and aesthetic, because I have everything. A lot of what I have around me is pink. Because I do believe in color theory, like that certain colors make you feel, like blue makes you feel, it represents like being at peace and just like pacifying somebody, and Green is a very, like, green represents healing. It also represents money, right? Um, Yellow, like a post-it, my yellow post-it, that represents, like, sunshine and, like, revitalization. So when you think of, like citrus, like, aromatherapy, like essential oils that are citrusy are, like, very, like, orange and red and bright, and they make you, they give you energy. But I am big on colors, and this wall definitely needs colors. Let's see, does that look like here? That looks decent, I think. Wait, this way. Boom! I don't even know if it's gonna stick. Watch it just fall down. See, this is how as authentic as I'm gonna get. And then I could have put I feel like it's gonna, oh wait, I probably should have, like, well, whatever. I'll reference it after. But now it doesn't look so like, boring. There's a that's not my picture. That's actually, so maybe, oh, this is decent. Now there's some color. Do I have anything else that's, like, colorful? I don't know. You see people with, like, the YouTube videos that have really cute backgrounds. I don't. I have books, which I did bring them, actually. I wanted to show my books. That I need to read more. I realize I've been on my phone way too much, and I'm someone who loves poetry. Like, Rupi Kaur is a really great poet. But I brought these up because the topic that I wanted to discuss is called, is basically starting over. Like, how do you start over, like, because I've seen videos, or I've seen articles about people who are in their 50s and then they get divorced, or their 60s and they get divorced, and they're like, what do I do now? Because let's say you're with someone for 30 something years, and all of a sudden your marriage ends and you're starting over. So starting over can look different in different ways, right, for different people. And there's a reason why I'm holding this book, because Morgan Harper Nichols, she's a really good poet, really good writer. And if you're ever someone that you feel like you've lost all hope, I highly recommend you buy one of her books, because, like, there's like this one right here on page 2. It says, hold tight to hope amidst all unanswered questions, for even in uncertainty there is strength to be found, and grace will still abound in what you do not understand. Under blue skies, on cracked rocks, in dry heat, in desert land, grace is the hand that is never out of reach, reminding you you are not weak because you are lonely. And even if you have heard the word grace over and over and over again, and you think you already know what it means, there is grace for that too. Humbly reminding you of its endlessness and how much you need it when you are lost in the wilderness. So do not be disheartened when the landscape is working against you, and do not think that you have failed when you are not sure you'll make it through. For this glorious unmerited favor called grace will meet you where you are, giving you peace amidst your restlessness and safety from alarm. Her words are so, it's like, it doesn't have a melody, like there's no music to it, but there's almost this poetic, like, lilt, like this fluctuation in the way her words, she pairs the words. It's just so poetic and so beautiful, and it's like, it's yeah, like, and even in the illustrations are like beautiful. I'm just trying to find another one that's, like, really I've dog-eared, like, a lot of them, so you can see, like, the demarcation line there. Like, this is the one I guess I wrote. Even though you have learned the skill of running on empty, now is the time to learn the art of breathing deep all over again, letting no one make you feel that you cannot show up with the truth of where you are. And some may not be ready for your honesty, but those people are likely equally dissatisfied, as they have not found the harvest yet. So do not be discouraged. This is no reflection of you. You are still free to live your honest story in the way it was meant to be written. The other ones. I know I found, there's some that are so profound, and I'm like, oh, this is a good one. This is not really about starting over, but I just want to say, it says, you may have ideas about how others see you, but you are not defined by their perceptions. You are not an object under someone else's magnifying glass, whose only purpose is to be observed. You are a living, breathing human being with a beautiful soul that is on a hope-anchored journey of learning what it means to be whole. Bro, that's so deep. It's so good. I forgot how much I love. I'm such a, like, oh, I love books. Like, it's funny because my mom is someone, she prefers, like, the Kindle and the digital, like, ebook readers. I need, like, to feel the book. I love hardcover books. When I was in middle school, my nose, and I feel like my chest is like, ugh. I just feel a little icky. So I apologize if my voice, if it sounds like I have, like, my nose is congested. But when I was in middle school, I had this thing for, like, if books had, like, yellowed pages. I'm so weird. Like, I don't know. The smallest of things bring me such joy. Like, I'm, like, literally, like, yellowed pages in a book that smell like you put your head in a book and it smells so good. And then, like, hardcovers, like, literally in middle school, there was the Nancy Drew series. And I used to love when I was, like, in 4th or 5th grade, and I used to go to our school's library. It was called Epiphany Catholic School. And they had a pretty decent library, and I would always check out the Nancy Drew books, and I was like, oh, they were so good. But anyways, they had the best hardcovers, and this one has a pretty decent hardcover. But I dog-eared a lot of them, like poems. So here's another one. Go in search of more. When you are unraveling into severed threads, new stories are waiting to be woven, and you can hope for new beginnings. This does not mean your journey will be easy, but moving forward is an act of faith, step by step, even when you cannot imagine the tapestry on the other side of this. And she has, like, a picture of, like, tapestry. And no one can take your faith away. It says, for whatever pain lies beneath your blanket of sorrows or the flaws you have learned to conceal just to make it through the day, it is okay to grieve the loss of things that will never be the same again. And this mind of yours that has pulled you back to the worst of things is the same mind that is capable of remembering the better things. This is so true. The sound of green leaves in the spring, in Vermont you should say the snow that never seems to go. The sight of rain running along the street, the way laughter can rattle a room, years later those senses still find you. They are more than memories. They are woven in the layers of your heart, not hidden by a blanket of sorrows, never replaced, never torn apart. May on the other side of this, there will be a row of city lights. This is what it looks like. Tell me who does not like a book, bro? Anyone that doesn't like a book, I'm gonna, I don't know. I don't want to say I'll smack someone, but, like, oh. Anyways, I forgot how much I love books. Anyways, okay, maybe on the other side of this, there will be a row of city lights. Maybe, just maybe, they will light up the sky and remind us the world is filled with life. We have lost more than we could ever imagine, but now we carry with us a hope that shines as bright as a summer meteor shower, and love that holds as steady as the ground beneath our feet. And the more we climb, we are beginning to find just how valuable life is. Never carry on sealed off from life. Even though it's difficult to bear, you are still worthy of healing and care and the freedom and peace to move on. There will be more people, more places, peace beyond understanding. So hold on to that. This is how you will be able to begin to walk on the path, even if you are still waiting for answers, closure, clarity. This is, like, literally what I needed to hear right now. And I like how my vision board, I should scoot in more so we can see the vision board. I'm very new to YouTube. I don't have, like, a fancy background and stuff or, like, a nice, situation. But there we go, right? That's cute, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to make so it looks decent, right? And, okay, so it says, so hold on to that. This is how you will be able to begin to walk on the path, even if you are still waiting for answers, closure, clarity. Even when you cannot discern the terrain before you take the next step, now is the time to go forth with an open heart, knowing that what you have walked through is valid and the experiences you gather will be entirely valid too. She's learning, so this is the picture, the illustration that goes along with it. It says, she is learning to be okay in the mess. I just realized I'm not wearing my headphones. I'm going to put on my headphones. So I apologize if no one could hear anything. Because some of the videos I realized when I recorded them, I realized that the sound didn't even work. So, okay, I'm going to reread it. It says, this is like when you think story time for adults. Like, you know when you read to little kids and you're like, Jack and Jill went up the hill, da da da. It's like adult story time. So, but with poems by a poet that I love. And it says, she is learning to be okay in the mess, to breathe deep despite the chaos, declaring that it will not overcome her. I want to say overwhelm her. For oh, things have been so heavy lately, but it has certainly not defined her. And this is literally like for everybody. It says it's for females, but I think it's applicable to men too. Even while you wait, your life is taking shape, like clay in the hands of the potter. There is no need to be afraid, for whatever is being sculpted is worthy at every stage of being loved and held with care for exactly what is. This is the one I like. And it has like this beautiful picture of like this gradient happening between like light to like dark, right? It says, with light silhouetting my shoulders, I will push into the dark night, no longer bound by shadows that trailed so long behind me. For they do not tell my story, they do not hold my truth, they cannot keep me from the things I am meant to do. Even if my eyes are heavy, I will push forward with audacity, and I will rise with strength at dawn. And when I arrive there, I will smile, and not the kind of smile made of gritted teeth, but the kind that is involuntary and free, knowing I have made it through to liberty. For I have known darkness, and I am learning to be less afraid of it. If you are swimming in a sea of unanswered questions, may you find courage to be silent, and while the waves fall over one another in a splash of black and blue, slowly drowning out your thoughts, leaving you with nothing else to do but fall helplessly under the body of rolling water, do not think you must rush on. It is okay to spend some time here. It is okay to be the only one here. The shore is calling, but today you're in this water. Find its purpose, its substance. Wait in silence. Fall into a place of listening and surrender, and trust that even here, these whirling waters will not carry you on forever. And when the current comes, you will be lifted up, carried to the shore, and you will be better for having been here, embracing silence amidst the water's roar. Wow. It's so good. It's so good. Poetry is just like emotions expressed in words on paper. I'm going to get to the point of talking about starting over in a second, but okay, here's one. Take heart, do not be afraid. The future may be uncertain, but there is no need to hide away. Every day is an opportunity to courageously show up, even when you do not feel equipped or that you will be enough. Let grace surprise you, setting fire to your bones, strengthening your mind in the wild of your unknowns. Be at peace. This is such a good commentary about how to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, how to sit with the unknown, in the ambiguity and the uncertainty. It says, be at peace in the mystery. You can thrive in the mystery, feel free and safe in mystery. Assured the ground beneath your feet is safe and ever sturdy. Not everything can be put into words. A mystery-ridden life is still filled with light. Because when you think about it, at least for me, I'm somebody who thrives off of certainty. I don't like ambiguity. I've never really liked ambiguity. I've always been someone who prefers having structure, like knowing what's going to come next. Spontaneity was never really my thing. I've gotten a lot better at that. But she has such a good way of conveying the message of settling into ambiguity and uncertainty with this unwavering calm, or like an I'm going to sneeze in a second, this unrelenting calm. Letting the tide whirl and swirl and just being present. And this is why I'm talking about starting over, why it's important. Because when you're starting over in life and anything, because let's say you're someone, like I did a video earlier today when I was eating my pancakes, and I don't know if I'm going to, because I post things at different times, I'm not going to post them all at once. I'm doing it sporadically, I don't really go by like trends, like, oh, is Wednesday a good day to post? Is Tuesday, Friday, whatever. I'm just gonna post it when I feel like it. But you can be starting over anywhere, in a relationship, in a job, in a new state, a new city. What is that? Is it a mosquito? Got it. Bro, I got the mosquito. That was good hand-eye coordination. Yeah. Boop. I'm so sorry, little mosquito. I think it was a mosquito. I don't know what it was, or a fly. I feel bad. So I'm really weird because I honor all, like, nature and life and whatnot. I will feel bad. Like, if I squash a bug or a fly, I will, like, rightfully either I'll put it down the toilet, or I'll be like, I do this, like, little mini prayer ritual ceremony, and I'm like, rest in peace, little bug. Move forward to the ethers. Because I feel bad. Like, I literally murdered the fly. Like, I literally, like, squashed it. Like, not murder. Like, that's no ill intent. But, like, mosquitoes, they suck your blood, and they, like, I don't need all that. I already have, like, enough sinusitis and allergies and stuff I don't need. So it's in the little Post-it, and it will rest in peace in the trash can. Back to story time. Yes. So it says, a mystery-ridden life is still filled with light, and it is okay to have days where you are still learning what that looks like. Right? Getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. I haven't finished this part of the book, like the latter half of it, so I should probably put... Oh, look, right here. This is where I stopped. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, because this is where I'm at. This, like, really dark page, right? So it says, when it's 2 a.m. and the room is lined with shadows, turn your eyes toward the window to the little light burn of the street lamp, the white star, the flickering red light of the airplane passing by. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. It is okay to feel a little out of place in this dark and restless space, and come falling into grace. And know this is still true. Lo, I am with you until the end of earth, even at restless 2 a.m.s, even when it hurts. So turn on the music, open the book. You do not have to count the hours. You may have lost your share of sleep, but light will never lose the glory. And no matter how long these late nights last, I could literally cry. I'm sorry if I start crying. It just hit me because, like, I'm sorry, I did not expect to cry at all. I haven't read this poem, this one, because I have it has a satin bookmark here, and if we're talking real talk, I do struggle with insomnia, and I did not plan on crying. I apologize. I don't know now if I can put this out on the internet, and I'm like, do I really want to be crying on the internet, but I wanted to be real and authentic, and I've learned that, like, you can't truly be at peace or feel at rest. Like, your body won't be at rest until you truly feel like your mind can't rest until, or what is it? I don't know if it's your body can't rest until your mind feels at peace. And I've had so many sleepless nights in the past, like, 3 or 4 years. And again, I don't want to go into too much detail of what I went through, and kind of am still going through, because some of it would lead to obscurity in the sense of, like, a resounding statement my mother would say is, intuition doesn't hold up in a court of law. So, I've gone through a lot where it's like, and I don't want to see people, like, I don't wish ill upon people. I don't wish for retribution. If someone hurts me, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to get revenge on you. I'm not that type of person. I let karma do its thing. Everyone's responsible. We're all responsible for our own actions and what we accrue in our life and stuff. But I will say the repercussions, the damage that was done emotionally to me because of things that I've been through. I apologize if I cry because I did not expect to cry. It was just a line in this poem that, like, it hit me. That I've had so many sleepless nights, or I've stayed up all night because my mind, even though I feel like my mind, I could put it to rest, I can't, because my mind is awake, but my body gets exhausted and tired, and I just want to just, like, and you want to feel normal. So I apologize if I cry, which is, I guess it's good because it shows people are vulnerable and normal, and I can't be like, people aren't happy all the time. They feel emotions, right? Um, but so basically it says, so turn on the music, open the book. You do not have to count the hours. You may have lost your share of sleep, but light will never lose the glory. And no matter how long these late nights last, the sun is on the way with mercy in the morning. So, um, and I apologize for my teary eyes because I literally, I've had so many sleepless nights, and sleep is so important. There's so many vital medical processes that happen during sleep, like digestion, um, cellular respiration, um, cell regeneration, shedding dead skin cells. I think there's so many things. Um, and when you lack that, your brain, everything just is. So, reading this and the reason, so the topic of starting over, I kind of touched on this earlier this morning in the sense of, and again, I apologize. It's sometimes when you're in survival mode and you're in go mode, you don't really have time to assimilate and process the feelings that you have, and it's really important. Crying is cathartic. There's a reason why. There's literally a release. Spiritually and energetically, crying is like you're releasing that has a stronghold on you, right, on your heart. So it balances you. But for me specifically, it's we live in a society where status is so important. Having just a title by your name, you know, I put Ashley Hugo MS CCLS, or LMSCW if you're a licensed mental health care worker or whatever, or social worker, or a juris doctor if you're a lawyer, and you almost feel like when you have to start over, everything that you work for, like, it goes away, and you ask yourself, what do you do now? How do you start over? And again, this could be applicable to someone if you got a divorce, and you're newly single, and you're like, okay, you lived with someone, and I can't speak to that well because I've never been married. I really haven't had a long-term partnership ever with anybody, but there's a lot of grief because you mourn the relationship you had with somebody, and that partnership and that connection and the memories and the foundation and what was lost, and then you start to figure out yourself, the identity of who you are as a separate self, as the other, right? Because when you're talking about partnerships and relationships, when you're a unit, when you're a team with somebody, and then you have to break free from that, and you're now separate. I've kind of always been single, like perpetually single. I really haven't had that many relationships, and I'm fine with saying that because I didn't want to. Like, I didn't want to. I think my dog is trying to get off of it. But hold on, River. I'm coming. I'm coming to rescue you. So Bonnie's okay now. So yeah, in terms of partnerships, it's a little bit different. Like I said, I haven't really had that many partnerships, but I can only imagine what it would feel like for someone to start over, and getting a new apartment, taking their maiden name or whatever, if it's a man or woman. And the same thing goes for jobs. Like, let's say you just recently quit a job or resigned a job, or you left a career or a field that you worked in for 10, 20, 30 years, right? That's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication that you put into one role. Or let's say you, like, what was it, like, a good example, the Bernie Madoff thing that happened. I don't really know too much about it. I think it's a Ponzi scheme or something. But there were people that I knew growing up in Florida. They were affected by that. I don't know the logistics of it, but I just know that people lost a lot of money, and they, like, a family that we knew, they literally had to move from being like in a beautiful home in Plantation, Florida, to going to like an apartment, because someone basically schemed or robbed them of all their money. The Bernie Madoff thing, and they had to make do and start life over, and it's hard. Starting over is hard, and it's heartbreaking too, especially like, I'm somebody. Oh, here we go. Here comes the. Oh, hello, hi. What are you doing? Did you have a nice time? My dog was sitting on my bed. She's getting older, so she gets harder for her to jump up on the bed. Are you doing pee pee? She's doing a tinkle. And so, yeah, there's a lot of heartbreak that comes with starting over, and I'm trying to make peace with, in terms of my life, the things that I lost, friendships, jobs, missed opportunities, relationships that never really got off the ground or could have come to fruition, family members, and I'm sorry if I cry again. I did not expect it. I'm pretty resilient, and sometimes it just hits you, and you're like, man. There's a lot of growth and vulnerability. Um, Change is really hard. Um, and again, I mentioned this morning when I was eating my pancakes. People, like the wildfires in California, people lost their homes. I don't even know. I can't even relate to that. The devastation someone would experience for that. But I feel like I can kind of relate in a sense because I did lose everything. And I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I basically lost because of pettiness and nothing to me. I didn't get scammed, but like because of people and pettiness and bullying and stuff like that, I've had to move to different locations and stuff like that for the past like 3 years. And so I had to take time off, like a year, from a job that I moved actually to Philadelphia for this specific job. And because I was so overwhelmed with what I was going through, that, and the people and different places and things that were just trying to, I think, they harbored ill intent towards me to like do, like basically play mind games. If you think of psychological warfare and spiritual warfare, and I worked for several years as a server, and serving is not an easy, just like any other job. It's not an easy job. Like, you get treated like poop. Some people have respect for you. Other times you're looked at as a servant, basically. And I've had people wave checkbooks, like, go like this with no eye contact. They just wait for you to pick it up, and it's like, it's so demeaning and humiliating. And you carry on, and you just but all the blood, sweat, and tears. I had a lot of money saved, over at least like $90,000 saved, and basically, and I hate to say this, like, I don't know if I should say this in public, but it's my story, and maybe it'll help somebody else. I don't know, and I'm not working in a hospital, so I'm not really worried about like a reputation in terms of my reputation and whatever. But yeah, I basically, I lost almost pretty much virtually all of that because of what I went through, and it's a very humbling experience, starting from scratch. Literally, it didn't hit me until today. I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna do, but because I'm pretty steadfast in my faith, I go, no. I go, not today, Satan. I was like, not today, Satan, or any other day for that matter, because there's that inner fortitude that shines through, and you have to persevere, and that's why you have vision boards, and you hold true to the promise that the calling on your heart. So, and I think I showed this vision board. I need to do a new vision board. That might be an activity I might do for self-care for myself. But there's people like who get diagnosed with cancer, people who get breast cancer, people who their child gets sick, and basically all of their money goes towards medical expenses. So everyone goes through something where their whole world turns upside down, and they're left with, like, they question humanity and go, is this like it? Like, this is what happened? And yes, this is life. this is life, and no one ever said it was going to be easy. But I feel like God, if you believe in that, if you believe in God, we're we're given this inner resolve and strength that you have to heed that, and we're equipped. We're a lot stronger than we think. Mental toughness, I think, is important because if you have mental toughness, you're never gonna give up, right? You're almost unbreakable, or invincible, right? It's people that when they break under pressure, they crack. That you have to build up that resolve because if you don't have that resolve, you're gonna get eaten up alive. I'm just being honest. You're gonna get eaten up alive because more often than not, we live in a very self-serving, hedonistic society. We live in a very dog like it's if push comes to shove. I mean, I would help somebody, but typical human being, they go, oh, that person's gonna be richer than me. They will do something to harm that person. Like people won't go, oh, you won the lottery. Oh, you got a brand new car. You won a car on The Price is Right. Oh my gosh, yay, good for you. People don't operate like that. They operate very much in the sense of, no, I can put my hair down because I was doing a job interview and I had my hair in a bun. But we operate in the sense of like, why does that person, like, it's always someone's life is better than mine, or this, and it's like we have to take this, that we are where we are for a reason, and you have to sit in that even if it sucks. Because that's where the most growth happens. But in terms of starting over, there's nothing wrong with that. You have your foundation, build off of that. Maybe like literally you might have a foundation, but metaphorically speaking, you were given a foundation, build off of it. And if you have no money, you have no finances, there's always a way. There's always. I remember one of the things, like there was a guy that I used to bring soup to when I worked at a restaurant in Miami, and because I just felt bad for him because he was literally living on the road, like he was living off the side of the road, busy street, like literally living on the curb, like a car could literally come and just, And I remember I wrote down the instructions on a napkin or a paper, I think from the office, from the restaurant, the directions to Chapman Partnership. So that was a homeless shelter. There's in Miami, Florida, there's a Camilla's House and there's Chapman Partnership. And I wrote this down on a paper for him, and he turned it away. He's like, oh, no, I'm waiting to have a house or whatever. And I was like, I didn't see a house, but he was like mentioning a house in a certain direction. But there's always a way. And if you feel like all hope is lost, it's probably not. You will find a way, whether it's through someone else helping you and supporting you, or you yourself going, hey, what can I do, because maybe one day you will lose all your life savings. Maybe one day you will get scammed out of a job, or you may have a relationship and you may get cheated on, right, and blindsided, and the guy that you've dated for 3, 4, 5 years. I've never been in this situation. Knock on wood, knock on cement. I don't want to ever encounter that. I'm very good at like figuring out red flags before they start, even though we're all guilty of like giving people second chances that maybe don't deserve them. But more often than not, I'm pretty good. If I notice a red flag in somebody, I'm like, boop. I'm like, you're blocked. No. But I've never been in a situation where, like, let's say someone has a relationship for 3, 4, 5 years, and they find out that their husband or their boyfriend is cheating on them. I don't even know what that would be like. I would be devastated. I get frustrated when like I match with someone on an app and then I do oracle cards. So basically it's not tarot. It's like it's psychic intuitive reading. So I have this deck that I recently bought, which is like super helpful actually, from Amazon, and basically it has words on it like friends with benefits, situationship, not interested, no spark, friend zone, benched, ghosting, breadcrumb, whatever, all these terms, right? Oh, I love you, I'm obsessed, whatever. And I pull the cards and I'm surprised, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, they said that they were single and they're polyamorous, or they said that they were single and they're bisexual or non-binary or queer, and I'm like, bro, why didn't you just tell me that, like I wouldn't discriminate. And it's frustrating because I've actually encountered that, so that's what I'm saying in terms of relationships. So I've dealt with it where like I haven't even had like started the thing, and I'm just like already like eliminating people. I'm like, nope, boop. I'm like, I don't sense honesty, you know. So I try to prevent it before it happens. But some people aren't so lucky. Some people, they go in blindly into it with good intentions, and then they get blindsided, and they get, you know, they realize, they end up realizing they're dating a monster or a liar or a con artist. And that happens. Or on the flip side, for a man too, the same thing could happen to a man. Someone imagines they're dating someone, and then they find out that that person is cheating on them or stealing from them or never loved them, you know. And I would, it's horrible. There's a lot of sadness when it comes with that. Um, so yeah, um, wherever you're at in your life, if you've ever felt like you feel like it's hopeless and you're like, man, I have to start from scratch, and I'm talking like maybe completely financially, um, educationally, like, you know, let's say you're someone and you never went to college, right? And you have your GED, or you went, let's say you dropped out of high school and but you have all these ideas and you're super talented and you're like, oh, you want to be a costume designer, you want to be an interior designer, an architect, or you want to get into marketing or journalism, and you don't know how, and you're like, oh, but I dropped out of whatever, and I'm a single mom, and there's always a way. You go to community college, you get your GED, you meet your professors, you network, you create a support system, and then you go from there. There's always a way. If you truly care, like if you truly think it, you will find a way, right? That's how I see it. And you never give up. And that's where resiliency and persistence comes in, and tenacity, because those are pivotal qualities to have, because life is not going to go the way you expected it to. I am literally living proof of this. Um, and you could have everything. You could have literally. I felt very privileged, right? Spoiled and privileged in the sense that I was handed a silver platter. Literally, I had a red carpet childhood. I had everything, and in a matter of seconds, all of that can just go away because someone can talk poorly about you or lie about you to other people and start rumors, and the rumors spread and they grow, and then next thing you know, you're packing your bags and you're moving out of your home, and you know, you're changing your phone number. You're deleting all your social media accounts, and you know, you're starting from scratch, and then you move again, and then the same stuff that happens, and then you have to move again, and literally that's like my story. And it's scary, like what people can do. People's words have so much power, and people can lie, and they could cheat and do all this stuff and just totally rob you of like everything that you once knew to be, like, from your sanity to your bravery to your, like, monetarily, fiscally, everything. And you have to start over, you know. But if you are someone that's starting over, I do recommend this book. This is a really good book. It helps you sit with the uncomfortable. It's just poems. This is by Danielle Cook. So I first heard about her when I was at Target years ago, and she had this journal. I don't know if I still have it with me. It's a journal about justice. Basically, where did it go? Do I have it? I'm gonna be really sad if I can't find it. It's like literally one of my favorite, if not my favorite journal. It has this quote about justice on it, and like the good work that people do. Like if you're a social worker, a case worker, case manager, psychologist, a lawyer, police officer, like it's people who care about social justice and social change and causes like that. And it's such a good quote. But anyways, she's also really, like, you know, really good, and her illustrations are like, I love this woman's illustrations. But her name is her Instagram is Oh Happy Danny. I do follow her on Instagram, and you know, it's so good. Like, it's just good for the soul when you read someone else's, look, hope through life's journey. But I know that there's, oh, this is it. 10. See, she talked 10 truths to cling to when hope feels distant, and then she kind of goes into like each one. So he says, my current, and let me tell you, mindset is everything. It's so true. Mindset is so, because what you think in your mind that's your reality. Like your inner world. Okay, so here we go. Your outer world, the things around you, is a reflection of your inner world, if that makes sense. And if you're someone who practices spirituality and law of attraction, you'll understand this concept of what I'm saying. So that's why people who do affirmations and they literally, it's almost brainwashing. It's like programming yourself to think good. And that's why I do my gratitude journal each night, because I'm literally telling myself to remind myself, which I'm going to put these on because I feel like my brain is, the blue lights, it's bright. But anyways, it says, my current circumstance and its level of severity is temporary in nature. One day I will look back and see that I have either passed through it or grown around it. I am not alone in my suffering, and there are people who love me and want to walk me through this season. I have witnessed the power of perseverance and have seen transformation spring forth from the most unlikely places. Dwindled hope does not equate to lack of faith. Doubt and belief are not enemies. I am worthy even in the midst of my uncertainty. My grief and it's such a good testament to acceptance, because more often than not we don't want to accept either our fate, or we don't want to accept what is, right? So people that are control freaks, right, they're very much, and I've dealt with this where I've been like, oh, I need to know what's going to happen. I can't sit in this uncertainty. You have to sit in it. I'm going to take these off today. You have to sit in the uncertainty, because you need to feel uncomfortable, and then you're going to grow out of that, right? She says, I can find beauty in my waiting. I don't have to see the finish line to find joy in my journey. Having hope is not denying my present situation, but resolving that this is not the end of my story. And she says the hope of our ancestors, which is it's pretty cool. She's a really cool lady. I'm like, God made that woman. Like, there's people that come along in life that you're just like, you know that they're divinely ordained by by God. You know, like they were incarnated in this time space reality. Like, I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar. I just think he's like, he won the Nobel Prize. Where was it right? Nobel Prize or Peace Prize, whatever, for his album Damn. I've been wanting to listen to it like in its entirety. But I'm assuming because it's the lyricism and there's like this poetic nature to his, rhymes and melodies and stuff like that. Like there's a purpose behind the music, right? And that's when you know people are like, they're onto something. Like when they affect social change, or they're conveying a message through their music, through their words, through their books, and people listen. That's when you know they're onto something. But this lady, I'm like, there's certain people that you just know that God. I want to say, there's that NSYNC song that's like, where it says, God must have spent a little more time on you. Like, literally, this lady, these two ladies, I'm sorry, and like Maya, if I could have like another book, I would say Maya Angelou over here, this lady, Morgan Harper Nichols, and then Daniel Cook Bellflower. God spent like extra time, like making sure that their souls were like, because they're like ripe for this day and age. Because if you listen to the words of what she's saying, and she's a woman. They're actually both women. I'm very pro like Black Lives Matters, And if you're racist, I really don't care. I don't really. Racism is so like stupid to me that like anyone that's a racist now in 2025, like I'm gonna laugh and be like, ha. And if they try to like come after me and like kill me, I'm gonna be like, ha ha. I'll just dodge it or something, and I'll kick them in the groin. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's true. Racism is so ugly. But anyways, they are two women of color. And their words, they're just so profound, and you know that God blessed them with this like gift of purpose through their speech and through their words, like conscious optimism, and just the way it's organized too. See, sometimes we need to look backward to forge a better path forward, right? So if you're someone and you're scared to start over, I highly encourage you, pick up these books. This is another, see, she says, allow yourself, I'll do this, allow yourself to grieve what was lost, what you thought would change, and what remains of your unmet expectations. Process and release the weight of disappointment over the current state of things, and maybe in the space once occupied by the heaviness of what could have been, you can plant a seed of hope as you reimagine what could be. Reimagine. So that's like a really good, right? It's such a good commentary, We must balance the recognition of disappointment with the belief that although this did not work out, greater is still possible. There's also and again, I don't want to make this political, but when President Obama was getting elected in '08, like 2008, like or into 2009, there's a song by MC Yogi that's called "Hope for Change," and he it's literally President Obama says hope is like that one thing. I wish I had the lyrics, and forgive me, I don't want to like sit here and espouse something or say it directly or quote him if it's incorrect, but basically President Obama talked about how hope is one of God's greatest gifts for us, and when you feel all is lost, like there's you have to hold on to hope, because what's going to happen is that people are going to come and they're going to tell you no, they're going to say no, stand down, well, whoever you are. For me, they might say, stand down, little girl, don't be so hopeful, like, you need to tone it down. And it's like, well, why? If you're not hurting anybody, you're not offending anybody, why is my hope bothering you or annoying you? And if it does bother somebody, then probably they haven't done the work to heal themselves, and they're still sitting in the place of complacency, right? And they haven't done the necessary work they need to do to dive deep to find who they are, right? And usually more often than not, people who bully other people, they're the ones who, they don't like themselves, and they might not know that, they're not going to know that, but deeply if you do like introspective work, like they don't like themselves, so what they do is they have to pick on you. And if anyone picks on you for saying, oh, you're too broke, you're too poor, you're too stupid, you don't have an education, you're just a server, you're a store clerk at a CVS. Yeah, but guess what? That person who's a store clerk at that liquor store or that CVS, they might be going to school to get their PhD. They might be super smart beyond belief, right? That's why you never really underestimate. I sometimes have had the best conversations with people who are cashiers or servers or baristas, because everyone has a story to tell, right? Even the people who are adult workers, like sex workers or prostitutes, or, I mean, prostitution's illegal, but like, who knows what the story is behind what they're doing, right? Maybe they want to go to nursing school, and they didn't have a family who supported them, or maybe they were domestically abused by their boyfriend. Maybe their boyfriend's a drug addict, or in whatever, so you have to give, I try to have humility with people. I used to be a lot more judgmental with people, and I used to say, oh, but why can't they, no, everyone's at their own place and time in this time-space reality, right? And starting over, if you are someone who's starting over, like literally from scratch, like me, don't have humility for yourself. And that speaks to anybody, like literally, if you're a single mom, if you're a single dad, if you're someone who's in a wheelchair, if you're paralyzed, if you're blind, there's always a way. Like literally, there's always a way. Like look at Stevie Wonder, he's blind and he, creates amazing music. There were these dancers that I was watching a video of, they're in LA, and both of them were in wheelchairs, and I'm like, beautiful women, and they're doing like all these amazing, and they do like wheelies with the wheelchairs, and I'm like, bro, these people are like there's no way I could do that, so if you feel like hope is lost, I would highly suggest grab these books, and then maybe do a vision board, right? The stories we tell ourselves in our mind, the narrative we have in our mind, that's going to reflect outwardly. And I know that might sound strange and very woohoo, floofy, new agey, whatever, but it's the truth. Put it this way, you wake up in the morning, your predominant mindset, whatever you're thinking in the morning, that is going to set the ball rolling for the rest of the day. If you wake up and you're like, I used to do this thing, so there's this musical called Dear Evan Hansen, and Ben Platt originated the role, and then other people, Jordan Fisher took on the role, and other people later on in the national tour. But he said, one of the lines, he goes, Dear Evan Hansen, today's going to be a good day, because today you're you, and that's enough. And I remember when that musical first came out, I put that as my background on my phone, because I was feeling at a point where I was like, I didn't feel enough, and I didn't have that many friends, and I didn't fit in, and I wasn't sexually active when I was a teenager or in my early 20s, so I was very I just felt different, you know. So I remember I put that quote on my phone, and I told myself I'm going to wake up each day with purpose. And I remember I used to the moment I literally used to set my feet on the ground, and I used to feel the floor, and the you know, and do practice mindfulness and bring sensory awareness to every part of my body, namely my feet, because that's what I started with first. And I used to say, today's going to be a good day, because today you're you, and that's enough. And I went about my day, and my day was pretty damn good. Like, you know, I try to, like, if you feel like you've lost hope, music, I don't know if you're someone who loves music. I love music. Music is medicine, in my opinion. Laughter is medicine. There's so many things when you think in modern medicine that you actually, like, yeah, you may need medicine, like antibiotics for bacterial infection or whatever, but there's, for the mind, music, dance, art, poetry, movement, sports, exercise, gardening, crocheting, crosswords, Legos, reading comic books, reading regular books, going to the park, going for a bike ride, going skiing, going fishing, whatever it is, that is a meditative practice, right? And that's going to help you, I think, inspire or ignite the flame of hope within you, because it's going to give you purpose and direction. Meaning, like, and it's also going to mitigate the noise, right? It's gonna quiet the noise in your mind, because your mind's going to be focused on another activity, right? Whether it's riding a bike, you're focused on pedaling the bike. You're focused on your breathing, right? You're feeling the wind on your face. So I encourage you, for me, the reason why I mentioned all these activities is because for me, what's helped me cope with uncertainty and ambiguity and loss or grief and starting over is I have playlists. So I listen to music a lot, and I've created, I literally have a playlist called Happy Songs That I Can Dance To. I also have I have a playlist, like, I think it's called Morning Playlist. Not morning like sadness, like morning AM tunes. I used to have a car ride playlist. I have an oldies playlist. So depending on my mood, I listen to many different genres. And that's helped a lot. I encourage someone, make a playlist of all your favorite songs. And not favorite songs, happy songs. Because songs carry a vibration with them. Literally, music is energy as well. So what you give your attention to, that grows, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're going to listen to a song, let's say you're like, oh, I feel hopeless, I can't do anything more, I will literally pop on Bleachers. One of my favorite songs now are Tiny Moves by the Bleachers and Modern Girl. It's just like, they feel like these old school, like, I don't know, like jams with a saxophone in the background, and it's just, oh. And him playing it, like Jack Antonoff playing the guitar, I'm like, this is like, oh. It's like happiness. And then seeing Margaret Qualley dance, like, in the video with her, like, short hair and her, like, like her white gown, I'm like, and she was a former ballet dancer, and when I saw that, I was like, it was so cool. Like, I was like, it's such a happy song. So I recommend, if you're someone who feel like you're lost and you're hopeless, make a playlist of all the songs that bring you joy. Make a good morning playlist. Get these books, right? Because, journaling, I will say journaling is not something, I used to do diaries and journaling. You have to be careful with that, because if you start to veer off and you start to rehash all, like, the bad things that happen, you don't want to be overly, like, idealistic where you ignore reality and all the bad stuff. But if you want to get to the point where you feel hopeful about life and, moving forward with your life, surround yourself with people who are encouraging and uplifting, number one. Go online, and if you don't have a computer, go to your local library, use a friend's computer, whatever you have, to look for resources. Get a counselor, get a therapist, budget. I realize now I'm 33, and I realize I just totally suck at, like, no, I don't suck at financial literacy, but I didn't, like, APR, credit cards, I still to this day, and I don't know why, I get so many phone calls about loans to my old phone number, and I'm like, I didn't do a loan, so why are you calling me? Anyways, but yeah, I'm someone who just now is starting to learn how financial literacy works, and that's embarrassing considering I'm 33, but my credit scores used to be really good. It's like so right now. It could be better, but yeah, surround yourself with things that bring you joy, that are uplifting, that make you happy. watch shows. Don't do what I don't even know if I really want to watch The Handmaid's Tale anymore because it's so like disturbing, because I'm like, if that's possible, I don't even want to know. If that's literally possible, where we have society where women are going to be strictly used like for fertility purposes to like bear children, and they have to all be like uniformed and wear like and conform to this weird ass like norm. I don't know. I really hope it doesn't end like society doesn't turn into that, because people like women especially, we deserve our civil rights and freedoms and stuff like that. So yeah, so I hope that helped. It's an hour long. I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but um, my vision board, and do a vision board. Also, oh, something that I like to do. Where is it? Is it in here? Oh, it is here. So, with my yoga students, and this is gonna sound really silly, and yes, I am an adult. I'm 33. I really don't care if you agree with me or not, because it makes me happy. When I was working with my yoga students, I loved to create letter bead bracelets. So this is a really good, so this is a great exercise to help foster like CBT, like cognitive redirection. So if you're someone who like, you start to veer off and you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, whatever, you find a word that resonates with you. It's also manifestation. So if there's something that you want to manifest, like let's say you're weak or you don't have strong resolve and you're not confident, but you want to feel confident, you would make the word strength. You have your elastic string. My elastic string is there. And then you put your beads, and then you pick your color. And I'll open this up. I got this on Amazon years ago. I need to make a bracelet. I realize I don't have one on. And look at all those beautiful, I don't want them to fall out, but look at all those beautiful colors waiting to be made into a bracelet. So I used to do this with my teen yoga students and younger ones too, and they loved it. But you can put any word you want. I actually gifted someone a bracelet a while ago. It was to a person who I was like romantically involved with. It didn't really amount to anything, but I put the word strength on it because I thought that would help him, like, I don't know, just overcome any fears and anxieties he had as a person, because we all have fears and anxieties and insecurities, right? So yeah, maybe grab yourself like a kit, and maybe and also too, don't buy one already pre-made like on Etsy. Do the process, like actually go through the process of making the affirmation bracelet or positivity bracelet, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that should help you a bit, hopefully. I mean, it helped me. I mean, not to say I'm like I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm a work in progress, but I will say I have overcome a lot of sad, dark, like sad thoughts, or you know, scary like thoughts. I guess, I don't know. And not scary, just like disappointing, overwhelming, heartbreaking, thoughts. Sort of see if it. There it is. Oh, Happy Danny. That's her brand. And then this one is her. Go get him. And I know they're pink and they're girly, but if you're a guy, then whatever. I'm not gonna like, I know those are more like effeminate colors, but it has helped me, and maybe it'll help you. And make your happy playlists or songs that bring you joy, and I'm trying to think anything else. When you wake up in the morning, note how you're feeling, which I'm going to start doing this. I need to start practicing what I'm preaching, because I used to do this all the time, but then I went through some ish a few years ago because of some people that were not so nice, and then I kind of got lost track, and now I need to get back on track and do all the things that I used to do. And that was like meditate, do yoga, do affirmations, make positivity bracelets and stuff, and give yourself grace. I think that's so key. Giving yourself grace and forgiving yourself for not, if there's something that you look back and you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have dated that person. Oh man, I shouldn't have moved to that city, or I shouldn't have been mean to that person, or done something immature or out of character, or out, whatever. Forgive yourself for that, because we are here to learn, And some of us maybe, yeah, maybe are endowed with higher knowledge or wisdom, because maybe I do believe in old souls. I do believe that people, we live past lives and your soul comes back and you reincarnate. And the old soul idea is that you've been here before, right? So it kind of feels familiar and you're like, oh, I've been here, done that. So some people come with that already, that knowledge, that insight, that other people, you're like, but why do they know that? And you're like, but they're young. Like, it's because they probably have been here before. So what may seem foreign and new to you is familiar and like comfortable for them. So, but in terms of starting over, there's nothing wrong with that. Whether it's, you know, you lose your car, you lose your job, guess what? What's meant for you will find you. And the right people, the right places. I know it sounds super cliche, but it's so true. And if you're in this transitory period where it seems murky and whatever, remember what she says. Hold grace for that, and rest in that, and just sit and be and float in that. And it's going to be scary, and you may cry, because you want to be certain of life. You want to know what's going to come next, but sometimes you're not meant to know what's coming next. You're just meant to trust in the process. So trust in the process. Give yourself grace and humility. Buy a book. For me, I love books. I'm weird because I like books. Do one of these suckers. And also planners are fun too. I have this planner. I got this at Target. It's so cute. I love office stuff. I know I probably shouldn't have bought it, but I still bought it. But it's so cute. Look at the little tabs. Like, no, it's so cute. I can't help myself. And it has like a bucket list thing. Mind you, so I was trying to manifest like productivity because I didn't have anything going on. I did set goals for myself. Like I wrote 2025 goals. I don't know how much of this I've actually like accomplished. Limit screen time. I have not been good about that. Do not accept the bare minimum. I highlighted that. Very important. Do not accept the bare minimum by anybody. Dating do's and don'ts. I have yet to fill this out. I wanted to do like a boundaries thing, because my boundaries are kind of poopy. But yeah, planners are a lot of fun, and it's like cute. It's so cute. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Yeah, and be future oriented. When all hope seems lost, you're like, remember and hold on to the things that make you you. And I know it sounds silly, but like, and when I literally have a mouse pad that says like, the things that make me different are the things that make me unique. Hold on to those things. Even if someone's like, oh, you're such... I've had internet trolls tell me that I'm too childish and I'm too babyish because whatever. And I literally just watched a video of a grown man with a service dog, like a few hours ago. He's handicapped. I hate to say the word handicapped, but he's in a wheelchair. And he was by a solo traveler with his service dog going on the Disney Wonder cruise ship. And he was older than me. So... I was going to do another video later on about haters and how to handle haters and stuff, but this one's more so about starting over and stuff, and it's okay to start over. It's okay to be in a place of uncertainty in your life. There's no one's going to shame you, and I used to be the kind of person where I used to shame myself for that. I was very hard on myself growing up, and now I'm just like, F it, you know, like, why? There's a woman, there's literally a funny Instagram thing where the lady, she's in a bonnet, and she's like, girl, she's like, I don't know if she says bitch, she's like, we die after this. She's like, we gonna die. She's like, we gonna die after this. She's like, your family doesn't care. She says, F them. She says, fuck them. I don't know if I can say that word. But she, your friend ditches you. That guy you liked that doesn't talk to you anymore, you know, because life is too short, and you have to make things happen. And I'm saying this now because I feel empowered and impassioned. And tomorrow I might wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Like right now I'm super hungry and I don't know what I'm gonna eat. And I need to still apply to more jobs and stuff. But yeah, I think give yourself grace, give yourself humility, and don't be so hard on yourself, because literally we are gonna all die. I'm not trying to say like, but you will pass on one day. And life is, after it's so true, after you hit 21, life goes like by in a blink of an eye. And you're going to be 40, you're going to be 50 before you know it. And if you want to look back in your life and you want to be like, you know, petty and silly and ridiculous and hurt other people, and you know, you if you don't want to champion other people, you want to be the problem and not the solution, you do you, boo boo. But I'm somebody that I want to empower people, I want to help people, I want to be the solution, not the problem. And that's why I'm doing the YouTube channel, so I can help people get through difficult times, because I went through a difficult time. And again, I just want to make a disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. I am a certified child life specialist, so I did a practicum, I did an internship at a hospital. I have over, like, I don't know, 1,000 volunteer hours in the hospital setting, in inpatient and outpatient clinics, and then I also have paid work experience. I've shadowed residents. I wanted to be a physician assistant at one point. I do have a certificate in pre-occupational therapy studies, because I wanted to do OT as well. So I do have clinical experience, but I don't want to sit there and be like, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a licensed therapist. I would like to be one day, but I'm not. So I'm doing this as like a peer-to-peer kind of support thing. So like, I lived it. I went through heartache. I went through, not in terms of relationships, in life. I've had my world literally turned upside down. Everything that I held near and dear to my heart, my career. And I'm not someone who, like, I don't judge myself by my career. I don't like to be, a lot of people go by their title. I'm not someone who does that. I'm someone who, I pride myself on my character, and if I'm a good human being, and if I can make other people happy. So, you know, that's that. And just remember, you know, we die after this. You might die tomorrow. So do your best. Wake up, get dressed, eat your pancakes, or your tostada, or your granola bar, or your smoothie shake, whatever, your avocados, whatever floats your boat. Get up and do it. And when you think all hope is lost, remember that there's a girl in Vermont recording a video at 4:25 p.m. in a little town called St. Albans who doesn't know you, but will champion you, because I care about everybody. Because that's just me. That's who I am. And I can't change it. And I never will. And if people don't like it, fuck it. I really don't care. So, and remember also that things aren't going to go the way that you plan them to. And every day is going to be different. Some days you might be super gung-ho, like, yeah, I'm a go-getter, I'm going to do this. And the next day you might feel like, you may feel super tired and you may not want to get out of bed. It's okay. Give yourself grace. You are a work in progress. You are here, and you are meant to be here, and you're doing your best. So, God bless.